It feels like it happened overnight. One minute, artificial intelligence was this kind of sci-fi thing, and the next, bam, it's everywhere. It's in your phone, it's in your car, it's definitely showing up at work. It's a huge shift. But you gotta wonder, is this all just hype? Well, in this explainer, we're gonna cut right through all that noise and get to the heart of it. Why AI matters so much. Right here, right now. So, what's the deal? Why is AI suddenly everywhere? I can tell you it's not just some passing trend. There are actually three really big fundamental shifts happening that explain this explosion. So let's dive in and break them down one by one. All right, first up, let's talk about productivity. You can think of AI as this incredible supercharger for how we get things done. I mean, it's giving us back the one thing we can never make more of, our time. Really, the easiest way to wrap your head around this is to picture AI as your ultimate assistant. It's this tool that just takes on all the boring, repetitive stuff, the digital paperwork, the grunt work, all the things that slow us down. And that frees us up to do what we humans are actually good at, being creative and thinking critically. And look, the scale of this change it's just staggering. We're not talking about a little 10% improvement here. No way. This is like going from a turtle to a rocket ship. I'm talking about tasks that used to take hours, sometimes days, now getting done in just minutes. It is a complete and total revolution in efficiency. And this isn't just some abstract idea, right? Think about your own work, analyzing a giant spreadsheet to find some key insight, or just drafting a bunch of emails. Heck, even editing a photo. These are all things that are being totally transformed by AI, making them not only faster, but way more accessible for all of us. And this is the real kicker. The goal here isn't just about working faster, it's about thinking better. By automating all that mental grunt work, AI frees up our brain power for the stuff that actually matters. The big picture thinking, the creativity, the strategy, the innovation. Okay, so that brings us to the second huge shift. Because AI isn't just helping us do things faster, it's helping us do them smarter. And that is absolutely crucial when it comes to making decisions in a world that is, let's be honest, kind of drowning in data. So, how does that even work? Well, it all comes down to this idea called AI-driven insights. Just imagine for a second you have a tool that can dive into an entire ocean of data, instantly find these hidden patterns and connections that a human might never see, and then turn all that noise into clear, useful knowledge. It's really a pretty simple three-step process when you think about it. First, the AI just churns through a massive amount of data. Then, it starts spotting patterns, things that are practically invisible to us. And finally, it hands you insights based on cold, hard data, not just guesswork. It's about replacing "I think" with "the data shows." And you see this in action all the time, probably without even thinking about it. When a company predicts the next big market trend, or when Netflix just knows what show you want to watch next, or even when your bank flags a weird charge on your card. Yep, that's AI, turning data into decisions, happening on a massive scale every single day. And that leads us right to our third and final point, the future of opportunity. Look, whenever people talk about AI, the conversation almost always turns to jobs, right? So let's just tackle that head on. Because the real story here isn't just about how old jobs are changing. It's about the entirely new ones that are being created. And what's so interesting is how we frame this. The conversation tends to get stuck on automation and what's being replaced. But the much bigger and frankly more exciting story is about creation. It's about the birth of totally new roles and even whole industries that would have sounded like pure science fiction just a decade ago. You can almost see this shift happening in three distinct waves. First, you've got your traditional roles that are adapting, learning to use these new AI tools. Then you have existing jobs, say in marketing or analytics, that are being supercharged. They're actually growing because of AI. And then, and this is the most exciting part, you have brand new AI native roles popping up that we're literally just starting to figure out. And again, this isn't some far-off future stuff. We are seeing absolutely explosive growth right now in fields like machine learning, AI and healthcare, the whole smart home industry. I mean, these are real, exciting, high-demand career paths that are opening up as we speak. So this brings us to a really clear takeaway for you. Learning how to work with AI. It's not just a nice little skill to add to your resume anymore. It is quickly becoming an essential advantage for anyone who wants to not just survive, but really thrive in the job market of the future. Okay, so let's pull all this together.
We've talked about how AI can be a massive productivity booster, we've seen how it helps us make smarter decisions, and we've looked at how it's creating brand new opportunities. So what's the big picture takeaway here?
Well, maybe the most powerful way to think about AI is to see it playing these three key roles in our lives. First, it's your assistant, the one that handles all the tedious stuff. Second, it's your analyst, turning all that raw data into real wisdom. And third, it's the innovator, literally helping us build the future. When you look at it that way, you see it's really a tool for human empowerment.
So, we're left with this one big thought. The AI generation, it's not coming, it's already here. The tools are out there, they're on the table, so the big question isn't, what is AI going to do anymore? The real question is, what are we going to do with it? This is truly a new chapter for all of us, and the next page is completely blank. The only question left is, how are you going to help write it?